Nigel Farage just demanded Gary Neville be fired on live TV. Why? Because Neville ripped down the Union Jack from his own building. And blamed you for it, not extremists. Not racists, middle-aged British men who work, pay taxes, and keep this country running. And now Sky Sports is in full panic mode. Because 72% of Britain agrees with Farage, this isn't about football anymore. This is about whether elite millionaires can insult millions of ordinary people and walk away unscathed. Hit subscribe right now, because what happens next will define who controls the narrative in this country. Here's exactly what went down. Last week, construction workers arrived at Gary Neville's Manchester property development to find something missing. The Union Jack that had been flying there was gone. Removed overnight, no ceremony, no explanation, just gone. When journalists pressed him, Neville finally released a video statement, and what he said shocked millions. He claimed the flag was being used in a negative fashion by what he called angry, middle-aged white men who were using it to stir division across Britain. Let that sink in. He didn't blame fringe groups. He blamed an entire demographic: fathers, workers, veterans, the same people who pay their TV licenses, buy Sky Sports subscriptions, and fund his 7-figure salary. Within 24 hours, Nigel Farage fired back, and he didn't pull punches. I'm absolutely amazed Sky Sports keeps him on. Farage said in a video that's now been viewed over 3 million times, he's openly insulting the very people who pay to watch him. He's completely and utterly detached from reality. Then Farage said something that sent shockwaves through broadcasting. Gary Neville should be sacked immediately. Not suspended, not reprimanded. Sacked. And the public response? Overwhelming support. An independent poll conducted just 3 days ago revealed something stunning. 72% of British respondents said they feel alienated by cultural elites. Like Neville, that's not a minority. That's not fringe opinion. That's nearly 3/4 of the country. And then Neville's words started getting replayed. Clipped, shared, overlaid with footage of veterans at Remembrance Day, working families at street parties, football fans waving Union Jacks at England matches. The optics were devastating. Sky Sports executives are now facing an impossible choice: stand by Neville and watch their core audience revolts, or remove him and face accusations of caving to political pressure. According to leaked internal emails, Sky hasn't denied senior producers are panicking. One email reportedly stated, Gary's comments may have irreparably damaged our relationship with core demographics. Another reference to urgent sponsor concerns, and asked whether crisis management protocols needed activation. Translation: they're terrified about losing money. But here's why this story is bigger than one flag or one pundit. This is about a pattern that's been building for years. Over the past decade, ordinary Brits have watched their national symbols get redefined. As problematic, they've seen patriotism rebranded as prejudice. They've heard their pride dismissed as backwards. And for many, Neville's flag removal wasn't an isolated incident. It was the final insult a Manchester father posted online. I taught my son to respect that flag. Now a millionaire pundit makes him ashamed of it. A military veteran wrote, "We served under that flag in Iraq and Afghanistan. Don't you dare lecture us about division." A small business owner commented, "I fly the Union Jack outside my shop every day." Does that make me one of Neville's angry white men? These aren't anonymous trolls. These are real people with real grievances who feel genuinely betrayed. And here's what cuts deepest. Gary Neville isn't some out-of-touch aristocrat. He's a working-class lad from Bury who made it to the top. He played for Manchester United. He captained England. He was living proof that the British dream still worked. That's exactly why this stings so badly. When someone from your background climbs the ladder, then turns around and lectures you about your values, it doesn't feel like enlightenment. It feels like abandonment. And Nigel Farage has tapped directly into that wound. Whether you like Farage or not, his message is resonating because it addresses something real. The growing disconnect between wealthy elites and ordinary people. He's not defending hatred. He's defending the right of working Brits to love their country without being psychoanalyzed and judged and condemned by people who've forgotten where they came from. It's a powerful position, and it's gaining momentum fast. 3 days after Neville's statement, a Conservative member of Parliament raised the issue in Parliament. He questioned whether broadcasting regulators should investigate platforms that permit open contempt for national symbols and the citizens who cherish them. A petition demanding Neville's removal from Monday Night Football has gathered over 150,000 signatures in just 4 days, and rival broadcasters, they're reportedly circling like sharks, hoping to poach Sky's alienated audience. But here's what makes this moment truly explosive. This isn't just about Gary Neville anymore. It's about a broader reckoning that's been coming for years. For too long, ordinary people have been told they're on the wrong side of history. For loving their country, they've been mocked for flying. Flying flags dismissed for questioning mass immigration. Shamed for wanting controlled borders. They've been called racist backward. Brainwashed, all while watching their communities change beyond recognition. And they've largely stayed silent until now, because Gary Neville gave them a crystal clear example of elite condescension. A specific moment they could point to and say this is exactly what we've been trying to tell you. And Farage has positioned himself as their champion. Now, some of Neville's defenders argue he's being taken out of context, that he was trying to reclaim the flag from genuine extremists, that his heart was in the right place perhaps. But here's the brutal truth. Intentions don't erase impact, and the impact has been unmistakable. Millions feel insulted, dismissed, lectured by someone who earns more in a month than they do in 5 years. When you remove the symbol that millions hold sacred, then blame those millions for forcing your hand. That's not brave commentary. That's deflection wrapped in self-righteousness. So what happens next if Sky fires Neville? They send a clear message. Elite voices cannot insult their audience without consequences. If they keep him, this story drags on for weeks, maybe months, and every Monday night broadcast becomes a referendum on whether working-class voices still matter in modern Britain. Either way, the damage is done, because Neville gambled that his platform gave him immunity, that he could critique what millions hold sacred and pay no price. Farage called that bluff publicly, forcefully and with devastating effect. Now institutions across Britain are watching nervously, because the real question isn't about one pundit or one flag. It's about whether media figures can continue lecturing audiences from positions of privilege, or whether those audiences have finally reached their limit. It's about whether cultural elites will keep dismissing working-class values, or whether there's a breaking point to how much contempt people will tolerate before they break back. It's about power, who wields it, who's losing it, and who's fighting like hell to reclaim it. 72% feel alienated by cultural elites. That's not a statistic, that's a warning shot across the bow. And if institutions don't listen, if they double down on dismissing legitimate concerns as bigotry, this won't be the last flag removed. It won't be the last pundit called out. And it won't be the last reckoning, because here's what elites keep missing. When you repeatedly tell people their pride is problematic, their patriotism is poisonous, and their values are villainous, as eventually they stop asking for your approval. They start demanding accountability. And that's exactly what's happening right now. In real time across Britain, the question is, will Sky Sports listen? Will Gary Neville offer a genuine apology? Will this spark real conversation or cement deeper divisions? Nobody knows yet, but here's what we do know. The old rules are breaking. The days when wealthy pundits could lecture without consequence are ending, and the people who've been dismissed, ignored, and insulted for years are finally making themselves heard. So here's my direct question for you. Should Sky Sports fire Gary Neville? Yes or no? Drop your answer in the comments right now. And if you want to see what happens when institutions finally pick a side, subscribe and smash that notification bell. Because this is just round one. The real fight is about to begin, and you won't want to miss a single second of what comes next.